everyone to the Candid Conversation series with me. This is episode 3 and I am Sonu Singh. The pandemic has not only affected our infrastructure business or the corporate business or the structure and the unstructured business. It has also equally affected our kids, our students and the education sector. Our age-old practices of learning environment, the learning model that is called the chalk and the talk method has now been completely transferred to the online method that we are facing today. So homeschooling is now the new common thing with the kids and the parents. All parents are struggling with the homeschooling factor or the online classes that have been run by colleges, by schools, by premier institutes, so be it from Harvard till IIMs and IITs. And this has left not only the parents or the parents in a confused state. It has also left the teachers and the students also in a state wherein they are not able to understand what kind of future lies ahead of us. So be it the student who is passing this year or be it the student who is passing next year or the other next year, they are completely in a dilemma what to do and how to survive this pandemic COVID-19. And this is what is the topic of my discussion or our discussion with our panelists today. So welcome you all again. And today for this discussion, I have two beautiful experts on my panel. I'll introduce you one by one. So first panelist is Ms. Ishpreet Kaur. She is a mompreneur with soulful impression. She is an image consultant, a soft skill trainer, an etiquette coach, and an interior designer for the past 2 decades. She not only wears the hat of being an entrepreneur, she is also a mom of a kid who is in the 7th standard, and she is also facing this problem of homeschooling and what to do next, right? Next, we have our expert from the education industry itself, Ms. Meghla Sinha. Now, she wears many hats to her name, but the most important one is where she heads the GHRDC, an education research firm in the past 2 decades, and she works extensively in the education research firm. She is also an MBA in HR from the prestigious College of Ford School of Management. She is also a trained facilitator and a trainer, wherein she has a 17 years of experience into training with big corporates and giants. You name it, and she has it under the banner. Not only this, her inclination towards spirituality is also very high. She is a she's a certified practitioner, and also she is a follower of Buddhism. I can keep on going about our expert, but to cut short the introduction part, this is about Meghla Sinha. And I am Sonu Singh, your host for the day, for this conversation section, episode 3 today. I'm an HR consultant, I'm an image consultant, a certified soft skill trainer for the past 7-8 years now. And welcome both of you ladies to my Candid Conversation expert. And I would like to know your views on this major topic, which is called the effect of pandemic on our students or the education sector. So I would like to start with Mrs. Preet. I want to know your inputs as to how this pandemic has actually affected our students and this entire sector of education industry wherein the students are so confused about it.
Yeah, thank you, Sonu. Totally agree. This scenario, this crisis have really impacted the entire education system. If I talk about statistics, it's about 600 million learners across the world which are affected at the current moment. And this lockdown has generated uncertainty over the exam cycles, around the curriculum, around how the students are going to cope up in entire this 1 year. So this impact have really slowed down the students. Maybe it is school students, maybe it is internships, maybe the placements. So entire students from I could say a small baby to kindergarten to a higher college, university students, all are affected with this lockdown. So as you said that now the colleges and universities have taken form. So this is actually affecting the students' education. That's first. Secondly, it is also, students have started missing the peer peer-to-peer education, as you mentioned, the chalk and board, the century old education system is right now, it's been totally into a drastically changed, and it is on the base of online, which is again to an extent only to available to the handful, as I said. So this is affecting the mental health of students also. It's not only that the studies are affecting, I also say that it's affecting the mental strength of the students. This is a time where students really need to work both ways, internally first, to have that confidence that okay, this time shall pass, and on the other hand, yes, the education system also needs to give them a support system regarding the change of the pattern, whether it's a curriculum thing or maybe the exam cycle, which has again been totally halted because of this. So and it is giving such an uncertainty in between these students, especially those who are plus two students, or maybe graduates, about to be graduate, and even the postgraduates. So the entire impact, entire mental health of students, I would rather say, rather than just educational based, even the mental health of the students has been totally affected. So and since plus two students or the college students who were thinking to go abroad, so they are now are into a fear how to go into that scenario, whether the travels plans are there. I was going through the statistics that most of the 75% students are confused now whether they should offer abroad or not, because the universities again, first is the traveling, because the traveling restrictions are there, one cannot go. Secondly, universities are equipped or not regarding the virus, the kind of it's being spread. So these are the factors which is bringing anxiety and a fear among the students, where we need to work and make them strong, where we need to give them assurance that yes, this is the time where the universities will be giving you a platform, or they will be into a they need to change kind of a admission review to give them a security and stability in future. That is one impact. Second impact is for those who are almost a fresh graduates now for them unemployment is another affair, whether they're getting a job or not. So that is their other mental stress, how to go on through their careers, how to step forward. So these are the problems which I find that our education system, as well as the entire economical system, need to be worked on, where the students could take that strong belief that yes, we'll be secure in future, and it will help them further how are the how then they can be very stabilized, and their mental confidence and other factors really get improved. So this is what my take is, that we need to work on how to put the confidence level that yes, the universities, the education system, the economy, other factors are there to support them. So what are the measures we could take? That's what we could discuss in further discussion. By the time I give it to Meghla, what is her intake about it?
Yeah, thank you, Ishpreet, for the really insightful insights that you've given. For Meghla, again, the question remains the same. Along with that, I would like to add one more question to you. Ki, what are your top 5, suggestions for students in this uncertain times? Hello, Meghla, are you able to hear me?
So I hope I'm audible.
Yes, please.
All of you?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, of course, I told you it's a very challenging time for the entire community, for our economies, for the entire world actually, and everything has been, disturbed. So the elements that we are used to working in and the kind of ecosystem we have been operating in has been totally challenged. And while it is a time which is being looked at with a lot of uncertainty and anxiety and a lot of negativity, I think there are a lot of ups to it also, and there are a lot of positives that we can look at in this kind of situation also. And it all depends on the kind of perspective we are having at this time. So, yes, while I agree that there are a lot of questions to be answered and a lot of things to be resolved at this particular point of time while they are at home, and instead of feeling that they are simply whiling away time, they can utilize it for their own self growth, both professionally and non-professionally.
True.
So I have a few tips that I would like to share with the students. The number one thing that I totally believe in, is that for anyone to become a great leader, you have to become first a great reader. And they say that great readers are great leaders. And if you look at our examples in the history of mankind, all the major leaders of the world have been vivacious readers, and they have been great orators. And reading is not just about knowledge expansion, but it also shapes our thoughts as a person, and it also ultimately changes our action. It changes the way we are as people, and it really gives us ideas and expertise in a very short period of time. So reading is a very fast track quick method to really upscale your experience level, your expertise level, and to really get into a different platform itself. So my suggestion to students would be, whether they are in school or they are in graduation or post graduation sector, to really utilize this time to read. And by reading, I mean anything and everything. We are doing a lot of reading these days, but the reading is actually going in a different negative direction. So instead of putting our energies into reading things that are not really serving our purpose at the moment, I think we can utilize this time to read about histories, the politics of various economies or various countries, biographies, autobiographies, the way leaders think, and just interesting fun facts that we never had the time to, read about. So this is an excellent time for students to read. And one tip that I have for students who are specifically not fond of reading, there is current generation that we have these days who are not fond of reading. And no matter how much you push them towards reading, they are absolutely, wanting to run away from it. So my one tip to them is, let's start from your area of passion. It could be music, it could be games, it could be anything else that you are very, very passionate about, and start reading from that area. And you have to simply, kind of build this habit of reading gradually. And once you get onto it, you will then be able to move on to various other areas, and really, build this very important habit. So just to give you an example, from the histories of the past, right from Bill Gates to Warren Buffett, Abraham Lincoln or Winston Churchill, these are all great leaders, and just a few that I can name right now, who have been vivacious readers and wonderful orators and thought leaders,
Correct.
and they feel and they that a lot of their personality and thoughts and action and ideas came from the fact that they were such great readers. So I think this is an excellent opportunity for us. When we were all in our pre-COVID days, I would like to actually call it the pre-COVID days now.
Yeah.
We would, all of us would think, okay, I wish I could read, I wish I could do this, I wish I could pursue this hobby or this kind of a skill, and we never had the time to do it. So really chasing and running and doing all sorts of things. So now is the time to really sit down, reflect, pause, and start doing stuff that really matters to us. And reading is something that I would recommend to all. For students who are not fond of physical books, you have plenty of apps these days which are online available on your phone, on various tablets. So you could even use the medium of audio reading apps. But whatever it is that fancies you, get on to the habit of reading. Students of any age and platform, skills are a very essential part of their life and career. And two skills that are most important for them is communication skills and technical skills. These are the two skills that every recruiter, every company, every sector, every industry, no matter which area you get into, looks at, irrespective of the academic qualification and background. So I would really urge the students to work on these two skills. When it comes to communication, people feel that it's a rocket science, and how does one, sort of master it. So my simple technique that I would like to share here is the very powerful and a very humble mirror talking technique. This is a technique which has been practiced by some of the world's best orators and communicators, where they simply would look into the mirror and just talk. And
Yeah.
what it does is that it gives instant feedback with absolutely zero judgment. So you get to understand what kind of body language you are having at the time you're talking, what kind of words, content, pitch and tone of voice you're having at the time you're talking. Alternatively, you could video record yourself while you're talking in front of the mirror and just get a sense of what kind of a communicator are you, what are the areas that you could work on. As far as technical skills are concerned, MS Office is one skill which is absolutely the bare essential for any industry and sector now, right from the junior most level to the senior most level. Uh, and then, of course, there are advanced levels also. But to start with, there are plenty of opportunities and platforms by which you can, register for online courses for these kind of technical. And these are all available online. Nobody has to go to any physical space. So my second tip is concentrate on building your skills. The third is that this is an excellent opportunity for us to do any kind of online course, internship, or an online project. And this is specifically for students who are in their graduate and postgraduate area. And even for students who are in, class 11th and 12th, they can utilize this period to connect with an NGO or do some kind of project. And believe me, all of this can be done online. You may have this question as to how they can do it, because companies are mostly closed. But there are plenty of online platforms with kind of opportunities. So please find out about them, get in touch with your friends, family, colleagues, and ask them what kind of problem statement they would like you to work on, and take it on as a project. So this is my third tip for the students. The fourth, which is something that I truly feel will help them a lot, is to have a very regular schedule and a routine during this time. You know, it's really essential to keep yourself disciplined right from the time you wake up till the time you sleep. So have a very disciplined routine wherein you are able to maintain your timelines, your schedule of eating and sleeping and waking up and all of that, and also are able to take out time for various academic or non-academic initiatives. One, it leaves you very focused, and two, it makes you very optimistic. So there is no time to think. And my last tip is that to remain positive and optimistic is not an option at this time. It is an absolute necessity. So one should absolutely focus on whatever they can do to keep themselves balanced, both mentally, emotionally, and physically. The three aspects to it. So for mental and emotional, I would recommend that get into any tool that fancies you. I know children are not very fond of things like meditation, but if they can simply have awareness towards their own breathing, even that will relax them to a great extent. Things like physical workout, be in the form of yoga or any other workout, is something that they must do. Children are very used to a physical workout activity, whether outside or wherever, and right now we've confined them in the four walls of their home, so their energy is not getting channelized in the way that it should. So it is an excellent time for them to pick up a yoga practice or tai chi or something that they want to do. Maybe go to the park nearby within their society and just spend time at the nature. So these are some things which I think is a golden opportunity for us to do, so that whenever we look at back at this period, we are not regretful, but we really feel that we have worked on expanding and growing ourselves. So that are those are some of the suggestions that I wanted to share.
Wow, that was really an insight, I must say, Meghla. All your points were so simple to follow for the students, and I hope each and every student follows it to have a really mental and physical strength. That was great. My second question to both of you expert would be, it's a common question, and I would like to start with Ishpreet first, and then Meghla would continue. What are your suggestions to students to keep their mental balance in this time?
Yeah. So thank you, Sonu, once again for the question. See, basically what Meghla have already told is the major ones. Yes, meditation is the very good concept, because I feel that the meditation really, really helps a lot. I recently have started doing it. I was not doing it initially. Now recently I started doing it. And to tell you the fact, even I've started doing, the yoga part where a little bit with my son. That's how I started practicing with my son, making him get into that habit of doing it. It is really affecting him also. He's calm the whole day. His energies are not so, going up and down. And so this really helps, first thing. Yes, second, I would like to say to parents that do talk to your children at this time, because this
Yeah,
communication
very
is
important.
very important. So I feel that parents and teachers should together develop a program that can be beneficial for students in the longer run, because this is a time where the uncertainty is on the higher stress, and on a higher point, the stress, anxiety, the fear, I mean, these are totally in. The more we talk about, okay, few students are really enjoying the time, that yes, they are getting a free time, but on the back of their mind, they know that this is going to give them an effect in a long run, because everything is going to be pressure back, the cooker is going to get a whistle later on, so that's for sure.
Yeah.
And this is going to, so I feel that yes, they should know how to give their time, maybe a study, though the studies are not going on a higher pace right now, but they should give a time on a small chunks to every day meditate, so they should divide the time
Yeah.
accordingly to give every little bit of these positive things, whether it is meditation, whether it is a study, whether it is a playtime, even their video games. And I don't say don't go off from them, because this is a time where they can, they need to put energies on. So I give a give a timetable to each thing. That is the best thing I could suggest to each and every child right currently, to every student. And yes, one more impact I would like to give, addition to the upskilling their skills and all, that the students who are looking out for the universities abroad, or the future, even for the job seekers, they should start doing their research work. This is a time where they can do a lot of research, which kind of a work they are really wanted. Then they can even research on the recruiters available, on which company has which kind of a recruiter, so they can start building up a relationships with them by just giving them a call or sending a
Yeah.
mail. Anyways, start your networking, so this will help them in future how to run on a road when the things will be start running smoothly. So these are my tips. Rest to you, Megha, again.
No, I totally agree, Shpreet, and I think what you've shared is just the right thing, actually. I think you're very right when you say that communication is the key. So it's a vital time where the children are spending a lot of time at home with their parents, and the parents didn't have time for them earlier because of their work schedule and all sorts of things. But now is the time when they can actually carve out that time to communicate with each other,
Yeah.
and I think that will really, really help. The second thing that I feel is that, small tools for children are very helpful. For example, see, right now the stress level is very high, so even if the children are not stressed, there is stress in other family members.
Yeah.
So the stress is being felt
Yes.
across the house, between various members. So it's very important that if we can keep the members, and especially the children, in a relaxed setting. So very few things that they can do, which is very simple, but it really does create a lot of impact. Simple breathing awareness. So when they lie down, just being aware of their inhalation and exhalation, as simple as just doing that, also relaxes the person to a great extent, and relaxes their parasympathetic nerves, and the entire process that's going on mentally. The second is to spend time in the nature, and third is just simply to do things like journaling. A lot of children can just write their thoughts, their emotions and feelings, and just write, maybe on a computer or on a diary, and just vent it out.
True.
And some of these tools are very simple but very powerful, and they will definitely make an impact in terms of mental and emotional health, which is our prime concern at the moment.
True.
And physical activity, because their energy is all constricted, and they're used to playing, they're used to being outside and all of that, meeting their friends. So it's a very abnormal thing that is happening to them right now. And they're also clueless. So anything which can expand their energy and channelize it in a physical way is going to be excellent also for them.
Thank you so much. Both of your inputs were really, really helpful. And I'm really sure that when students or parents or teachers or anybody from this fraternity looks and sees our video, I think they would get great insights from you experts. It was very enriching experience for me, and getting these points, which are really, really simple to do, yet it seemed very complicated when we were in our pre-COVID times. And during the COVID time, these are simple things to do actually to make us more aware and empower us more post the COVID times. So thank you both of you. Thank you Ishpreet. Thank you Mekhla. It was really great interacting with you, and I had a really pleasure interacting with both of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure was all ours, and it was absolutely great to be on this platform.